just over a year ago, I'd hit rock bottom. I was so burnt out. I was just not listening to that voice inside my head. For I hadn't been listening to it for a long time, and it had been telling me, "You're not happy." You, and I'd created this permaculture property in the suburban area. I was like a farm girl in the city. This was kind of really, I was just in the wrong place, and I always knew I'd built that thing in the wrong place. But no one wanted to come with me, and hence the caravan. But what I'm coming back to is that the beautiful moment of my son sitting in the lounge in this beach house that I had been guided to because I'd listened to my soul. And for 9 months listening to my soul, where am I going next? What am I doing next? Just guide me, just guide me, just guide me, just guide me, just keep guiding me. And there's my son who had landed in this beautiful place, sitting there saying, "Oh my goodness, Mum, the experiences I've had, the people I've been with, and how aligned his life is." And I was sitting there and I could feel my heart pounding like it was then. That that decision and that that really hard thing that I'd been through, that had forced me to like throw all my toys out the cot and just dump that old life and listen, had not only completely changed my life to now being in this pinch me, this is real, that I get to be here every day, and that he is also in such incredible alignment as well. Welcome to the Curious Bee podcast. I feel like this is like the beginning of a new chapter of, yeah, this life being home alone. I know that last year I was home in a caravan alone, which was such a massive, 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 massive journey to be where I am today. And why this is a different chapter is that my 18-year-old highly entrepreneurial son is now in Australia. It's kind of like that's huge, eh? When your baby isn't round the corner or a drive away. Yeah, it's still kind of sinking in that, yeah, it's huge, eh? So yeah, just before he left was a beautiful, we've had some really beautiful moments, of course, in the final week. And he spent his last day out on a boat with the kingfisher man of this area, apparently. And he said he actually shared this amazing little video that his friend had recorded. It was so sweet. And it was his friend, like, so his Ali was in the boat going, I have to turn my hands around this way, and his friend was going this way. That's perfect. And so he had footage of his friend in this boat going on this boat, going, "Oh my God!" So the "We love you, man!" Like, oh, it was so gorgeous. It was so gorgeous. And it's the other sweet thing is that Ali had bought a pair of Crocs, and one was pink and one was purple, and he'd shared the other pair of the Crocs with the guy on the boat, and you could see in the video that he was wearing that. Oh, it was so sweet. And what made this really special is that it made me really, really, really realize that rewind over a year ago, I'd hit rock bottom. I was so burnt out. I was just not listening to that voice inside my head. For I hadn't been listening to it for a long time, and it had been telling me, "You're not happy. You and I'd created this permaculture property in the suburban area. I was like a farm girl in the city. This was kind of really, I was just in the wrong place. And I always knew I'd built that thing in the wrong place. But no one wanted to come with me, and hence the caravan. But what I'm coming back to is that the beautiful moment of my son sitting in the lounge in this beach house that I had been guided to because I'd listened to my soul. And for 9 months, listening to my soul, where am I going next? What am I doing next? Just guide me, just guide me, just guide me, just guide me, just keep guiding me. And there's my son who had landed in this beautiful place, sitting there saying, "Oh my goodness, Mum, the experiences I've had, the people I've been with, and how aligned his life is." And I was sitting there and I could feel my heart pounding like it was then, that that decision and that that really hard thing that I'd been through, that had forced me to like throw all my toys out the cot and just dump that old life and listen, had not only completely changed my life to now being in this pinch me, this is real, that I get to be here every day, and that he is also in such incredible alignment as well. It's like, it was so beautiful. And then those little snippets, and how happy, and the friendships. And he's like, and he said, and even when he goes, he calls this home. And we never had that where we were like, just, we never had that connection. So that whole following your soul thing, soul alignment, it's the most important thing that you need to do in your life, because you cannot thrive, you cannot really live to your fullest potential when you're not following your soul and you're not in the right place you're meant to be. It is, there is nothing more important. And then once you have that foundation and you are in a place where you can thrive, then you can build the business, the health. But it's the other example is that I had gone to see like several people about trying to improve my strength in my back, and the pain, and it, again, pain was a huge messenger for me. I was in constant pain because it was as all the pain is a messenger. And yes, I'd been to see all these people to try and give me a program to build strength around my back. And then I'd get the program and maybe I'd do it once or twice. And then I was just like, and it was just, you can't rebuild and do something when you're not in alignment. And then I was just, because of the stress was producing so much pain, it was almost like, what's the point? Because you've got to unpack the actual underlying things that are not working for you to then be able to rebuild. And sometimes it feels like they're so huge. That's so huge to contemplate moving city, moving country, changing career. But this lifetime is so, so, so small in the whole aspect of, we don't live that long. And are you going to live in absolute joy every day and be healthy and radiant and be of service to the world by being in your fullest potential? Or are you going to live in misalignment and just keep being stressed and struggling and unhappy? And it's it's kind of sad, right? But I just want to, actually, I want to share something else that happened today. So that was beautiful. And yeah, it's really interesting because now he's overseas. I've heard from him a couple of times, and it's huge because now he's doing the same thing, meeting a whole lot of new people. He doesn't know anyone. Um, but it's going to be an interesting reflection to then compare this place with where we were before to, this fine. I think there's probably is several places in the world that you can thrive in. I'm not saying there's only one, but that's another whole subject around that. There is actually people who can tell you, but like astronomy, but I think it's called, um, it's astro something or other, where they can tell you from your birth chart where you're meant to, the places that you're kind of meant, your soul and you're meant to be, a bit like, human design. So you're meant to do this, and you have these gifts. There's actually places that we're meant to actually be and will thrive in. So that's really interesting as well. But the other thing that happened today was that I went for my beautiful walk in this beautiful bay, um, and I met like a woman, yes, I did, a woman, um, and I just thought, opened up a conversation as I love doing. And as you say to each other, oh, so what, she was like, what do you do? And I was like, and I shared a bit of my backstory as being a designer, and then how I'm really excited about stepping into this next chapter of, yeah, really helping women like I have been helped, uh, really take that journey, really when they're ready on that other side of midlife, when they've landed and they're, because there's no point, I believe, in stepping into another venture or a passion project unless you have, especially in this, as I say, in this midlife, that until you've really, really kind of found yourself. Because my goodness, raising kids and navigating all that, there is just a lot to deal with there. And then to add something when you haven't actually kind of come back to yourself after that identity of having to share your energy and raise this being, it's huge. It's huge. It's huge. It's so much time that you've invested in that period of your life. So this woman, so I told her about me and how important it is to build something from passion. And I said to her, so what lights you up, and what do you do? And she was like, well, I'm a freelance writer and I write for people. And she's actually, at the moment, she's a teacher. She's been in a long-term relief at a primary school, so she's teaches English and other languages. And I said, but what do you? And she's like, oh, it's like I don't want to do it, and I'm gonna quit, and la la la. And I said to her, but what do you really want to do? I love having these conversations. Love having them with people. What do you really want to do? Because that's what I wanted before I jumped in the caravan. About a year before that, I was searching for a coach that I could talk to and say, look, you know who I am. I've got all this experience and da da da. Can you just please help me with what my gifts are, what I'm here for, so I can step into the next chapter? And that's who I was looking for. So I'm excited to now be able to offer that, because that feels so, it's so something that I can now help because I've been there. So I said to her, what lights you up? Come on, like, okay, we're not enjoying the teaching. And she was like, oh my goodness, like building a team and, in the 3D world of like a school. Because you'll get this person who's saying yes, and this person will say no, and you're trying to get these people to come together. The model it's really hard, and she understood that. And she goes, I want to start a restaurant. And I was like, oh, cool. So what kind of cuisine? And so it was all well and good. But underneath that, I said, what do you love doing? What do you love doing? She goes, I just want to be free. She kept saying to me, I just want to be free. I love my husband. I love tramping. I love walking. And I'm like, but you want to open a restaurant, but you want to be free. And that's where it gets really interesting, because And I love the unpacking of all that because, and that's what I'm really here for, is to be able to have those conversations with beautiful woman entrepreneurs who have been there, done that. They're really talented. They don't want to give their energy away. They know that working in the 3D, traditional trading time for money, giving, what would she say, 34% of your wages to the government. It doesn't work anymore. It just doesn't work. So yeah, working with people to say, okay, but you love freedom, you love to be free, and you love to tram and hike, but if you start a restaurant, I know that's a passion, but yeah, it has to all work together. So you need to create the life, and I kind of believe that I've done that. I've created the life that is in alignment. I love walking the beach. I like a slow, beautiful life. That's all I wanted. I remember walking the beach with my dog. Sparky was a little puppy. And back when I was a graphic designer, and I was like, oh my goodness. All I could think about was like, or not think about, was how many emails were piling up in my inbox that were like, at that time I was doing a lot of advertisements, and I had a key client that was constantly like, and I was like the over deliverer. You could just contact me and I'd do it straight away. I'd drop everything to do it. That was always the over deliverer. Just repeated myself. And I remember walking the beach going, like, just being worried about what I was going to walk back into. And now it's so nice to just have that luxury of like, I'm not walking back into anything. And as I build this next business, stepping into my queen, which is what us ex traditional entrepreneurs need to do, that we don't make meetings before 10 a.m., that we book everything on Calendly, which is like an amazing app. So we know when our meetings are, we choose when they're going to be. We schedule the work that we choose to do around the life that we choose to live. So if you want freedom, you need to create a business that accommodates freedom and do it slowly, do it right, lay the foundations. And yeah, is it going to be a forever business? Is it going to be something that you want to document everything you do so that you can sell that business? So, we need to get savvy. Like, we've been there, done that. This is the next era for us. And we don't just want to get back into that same model, but there is a way. And really excited to be starting to put the pieces of the puzzle together and, yeah, start processing how I can be of service. And as I said, help people take the journey that I've taken and then create a business that is using their gifts, really lights them up, that they're excited about building, and build it the right way, that it's really just people will come to them because they want to evolve, and they look at them and go, I want to work with you because I know you will transform me. And we all have those gifts of things we've been through that we've learnt from, that we can then help people take that same journey so that they can get to the other side of it. And I really believe that's what we're here for. And we all have gifts, and it's just finding someone that you can unpack those gifts with and then monetizing it in a way that's going to be in alignment with the life that we want to live. So there you go. There's a little bit of something to think about and exciting times. So there you go. That was a bit of a daily reflection or helping life reflection. Anyway, over and out from Curious.